I've decided I want to live more like Bob Goff. Now, if you don't know who Bob Goff is, you might just want to stop this and get back to it. Bob Goff is a writer, I guess an entrepreneur, a speaker, but I know Bob Goff from his biggest book, which was Love Wins. Then he wrote Everybody Always, and now I'm reading Undistracted, which I shared a little bit about last week. I'm pretty sure he's written some other books as well, but that's just what I've read. But if you watched my video last week, I talked about the death clock, which is not what Bob called it, but what I kind of called it, just kind of catchy. And I don't know, I love Bob. That sounds kind of creepy. But I love everything that he stands for, and I love the way he lives his life, and I want to live more like him. I don't know him, I've never met him, but much like Donald Miller, I feel like if we were to hang out, we'd probably be best friends. But the thing about Bob Goff is he just knows how to have fun. He knows how to spread joy to others, and that's what I love about him, and that's the way I want to live my life. He's also very much an extrovert. I'm totally an introvert. But who doesn't want to experience more happiness and joy in their life and then spread that to others? I mean, that's really probably one of the biggest things that brings us our own happiness and joy. Speaking of happiness and joy, that is something I've wanted to talk about for a while. I was actually going to do it this week, but I'm just not ready. Happiness and joy really are two different things, and we usually use them synonymously. That's the way I am today as well. But I do want to share about the differences that I've been finding and why I think we need to have those two ideas or terms separated out. But that's not for today. So the thing is, most of us do sort of copy or, replicate things that we see about people that we like or that we think might make our life better. This is kind of an odd one, but I knew a kid a while ago, a long time ago when I was a kid, and he would bite his lip. He would do that. And I also noticed that this kid always had the prettiest girlfriends. And somehow in my mind I made the connection that if you bite your lip, that you get pretty girlfriends. It wasn't really the case for me. Nevertheless, I do have the prettiest wife, so I will have to check with my wife and see if it's because I bit my lip. Don't bite your lip too hard, though. But I picked up on something, and it kind of became a habit. It's something I was doing for a while. But that's the thing, whether they're good things or bad things, we pick up on what we see people do that we think will make us a better person or will improve our life, and we copy those things until they become habits. And that is really what I want to have happen with what I see and know about Bob Goff. I want to do similar things to him so often that they just become habits, that they become part of my life. So here are a few things about Bob Goff that I think are worth making a part of our lives. First, and he's done this for as long as I've heard him or read his books, he calls his wife Sweet Maria. Now, I probably shouldn't call my wife Sweet Maria because her name's not Maria. But what about putting an adjective before our spouse's name and calling them that? Beautiful Trish, sweet Trish, generous Trish. That's my wife. I don't know. It might be weird at first, but it would probably catch on after a while, and I think she'd probably appreciate it. We'll see. Maybe I'll give it a try. If you know anything about Bob, you know that he loves balloons. At all of his conferences and wherever he goes, he seems to have balloons with him. I like balloons. I've never had balloons just kind of sitting in my office, but that might be a good idea. But maybe it's something else. It's probably food, peanut M&Ms or something like that. But what if we just had little symbols around, things that we enjoyed that brought us happiness? I think that'd be a great idea. Something you just see and it brings you a moment of joy. What's wrong with that? That'd be great. Something about my job, I'm an executive director, and I feel like I should probably be wearing like dress shirts and nice pants. But you know what makes me happy? Jeans and t-shirts. So that's what I do. Got really crowded on that hill all of a sudden. It was kind of weird. So what about making other people happy? I mean, what if What if we gave out candy to people? I mean, not everyone, but people like candy. I heard Bob say, maybe give out some saltwater taffy at your church or something. Or, open up the door of your minivan and give out candy. No, that's a bad idea. Don't do that one. But really, here's something I'm thinking. So I have 3 female staff at work. I was thinking, what if I just bring them all flowers one day? I mean, that would probably make them pretty happy. They'd feel like I appreciate them and the work they do, and I think it'd probably bring them some joy. But make sure you bring your wife flowers on the same day. That could really backfire. But I mean, really, we can do little things all the time that bring people happiness and more joy in their lives just by doing these really small things that we know they appreciate, or by surprising them with just gifts or a smile or a compliment. I read a book years ago by a guy named Bruce Main called Holy Hunches, and it was about just basically, having these holy prompts of doing things for people, of saying the things that we're thinking that they would appreciate, that show that we appreciate people and make them feel good about themselves. Often I think, and especially as a parent too, we think the things, but we just don't say them. But another thing I love about Bob is he does bigger things. He finds people, he finds needs, and he gives generously. And generous might be different for everybody, but we can all give generously to people that we know need it. And it doesn't always need to be money. One of the things Bob talks about in Undistracted is visiting prisoners and just talking with them. We could probably find a prison and talk to prisoners. What about going to a local youth center and just hanging out with kids, or going to an orphanage? Do they still call them an orphanage? A place where kids are waiting for foster care, and hanging out with them and just talking with them, finding out about their life and what's interesting to them. Sitting on the floor and playing Legos with them. Those are easy things to do, and we might think it's kind of awkward, and even the people that we go and see and talk with might think it's a little bit awkward. But after the awkwardness passes, man, I think they'd really appreciate that sort of thing. And I really think, too, that is what would bring us a lot of joy. And then one other thing I love about Bob is he loves to have fun. And as adults, I think we just kind of think fun is immature, and maybe it is. But Bob talks about longboarding and riding his bike around with his wife, throwing a ball with his wife while they talk about their day. I mean, that sounds pretty fun. I took up skateboarding at 40, and I love it. I'm the oldest one there. I don't care. And skateboarding really is a fun one because it's really kind of like this really kind and respectful subculture, even though they don't look it on the outside. But whatever it might be, and now I have this counter, this death clock on my phone, and I think about, man, the minutes, the hours, the days are ticking by, and what am I doing? Sometimes you just got to stop and have fun. Sometimes you got to bring joy into the lives of other people, and sometimes you just got to find happiness yourself and enjoy the day. Okay, so here's the challenge. Yes, I'm giving you a challenge, and I'm going to take up the challenge myself. Let's ask ourselves, how can we be more like Bob? And if you don't know Bob, you probably know somebody, maybe a neighbor or a friend, who really is pursuing a life of fullness. So in the comments below, write down what you've done, not what you're going to do, but what you have done to bring joy into your life by bringing more joy into the lives of others. Don't just think about it. Don't just write down what you're going to do. Write down what you actually are doing and experiencing in your own life. I decided a while ago that I'm on this journey to live life to the fullest. And I think one of the best places to start is to find somebody that we can replicate, that we can follow in the way they're living their life. Surround ourselves with people like them and start living a life full of joy. And of course, if there's nobody else, if you don't know anybody like that, there's Jesus. Imitate Jesus. In fact, we probably should have started with that. I want to be more like Jesus. So if you've decided you want to pursue the fullest possible life, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll take this journey together. See you guys next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, show a little love and hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, step it up a little more and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss any future videos. Thank you again for checking out the Jeff Bruce.